I find the truth, I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah, there is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. I see with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah, there is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out, slowly feel all that's around you, all that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah. When we unite. Yeah, yeah, You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are welcome here. All right. How many people are feeling a little low on the energy side? How many people are feeling a little low on the energy side? Yeah? All right. Yes, there's been moving and shifting and growing and beingness happening. So, take a second right now, because I'm a little low on the energy side, and we're just going to ramp up our energy just for a second. Take a deep breath in. Stretch your body, move your muscles if needs be, and sigh it out. One more time, deep breath in. Stretch your body, move those muscles, sigh it out. Last time, deep breath in. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, this place where we connect your mind, body, and spirit. And then we would connect to each other, mind, body, and spirit. How awesome is it that you're here today? I'm excited for myself that I get to see each and every one of you. All right, we're just going to tell you a little bit about us. How many people are here for the very first time? Yay! Thank you so much for joining us today, bringing your energy center into this space so we may share this container of love today. I'd like to tell you a little bit about us. And hey, yay to those watching online. Our vision is that we are a model center for spiritual living, as evidenced by the transformational impact we have in our spiritual community, which is us here in this room, the CSL organization, the greater community of all CSLs like this, and then, of course, the community, the world at large. And how are we doing this? Our mission is to empower individuals to awaken to the spark of divine essence, the perfection, the power of the cosmos that is in you and around you, so you may step and live your very best lives. That's the mission. And because I vibe with that mission, I am here today. And I'm hopeful that each and every one of you vibe with that mission too. Even if you can't see that for yourself, at least there is hope to aspire to something bigger and better and greater than the current paradigm. I like something better. And how do we do this? We find people who line up in your vibratory field. You find the same value system. And these are our values. We chose them as a community. So if it vibes with you, I invite you to say it after me. Spiritual growth and practice.
Spiritual growth and practice.
Love. Appreciation. Community. Freedom. Creativity. Health and wholeness. Generosity. Financial well-being. Absolutely. I know that's why. Give yourself a round of applause there. Because here's the thing. As you have a value, you step from that every day. Not just for the world and what you're giving in your dharma, but also how you step for yourself on the inner world too. And if you can line this up, and every time we come together, we get to do these really cool things together, but coming from that space of, man, this is what I stand for, the world is definitely going to be better. We will make a change right now. Not hoping there's a change, but right now we're doing it. You guys, look at the diversity in our community. Look at that. It's not lost on me that this was not possible not that long ago. There are people who shed blood and died for this moment. You know? I'm so grateful I get to see it and live it and be it. And we get to do this today, and we get to honor and be with people like Sherri Cunningham, who comes in and spirit gets to use her body today and speak to us. How exciting is that? Man, good stuff, good stuff. All right, so at this time, I'm going to ask Erin to come on up here and bless us with the Science of Mind reading for today.
Thank you. So CSL puts out Science of Mind magazine, which is an absolutely fantastic magazine which contains these daily guides, which I'm going to read today's. And the topic of today is your values. So Idowu Koyenikan, and forgive me if I mispronounced the name, his quote is, "A highly developed value system is like a compass. It serves as a guide to point you in the right direction when you are lost." And from our founder, Ernest Holmes, "A true estimate of real values cannot be built on the shifting sands of time alone. In the long run, the merciful will obtain mercy. In the long run, we shall reap as we have sown." And the Reverend Dr. Edward Viljoen writes, "In the great Indian epic poem Ramayana, the hero Rama and the villain Ravana have a lot in common. They're both learned, both rich, and both skilled. Someone could ask, what makes one a god and the other a demon? The answer lies in what they value, for values are the guiding principles of our lives. In this regard, a value is different from a vision. A value is not something I work to attain. It already exists within me. whereas a vision calls me forward. A value is what determines how I move forward toward the vision. You can learn a lot about your values by looking at your life through other people's eyes. Imagine being introduced at an event by someone who knows you well. What do they say about the example your life gives to the world? For what can you be counted on? It is one thing to say, I value spiritual living, and it's another thing to have evidence of living a spiritual life that can be witnessed by those who interact with you. How then do you know what your personal values are? If you are uncertain about how to answer the question, try asking close friends how they would describe what you value. Based on their knowledge of you, what do they believe your personal values to be? How they respond may not match your own sense of values, but it will give you an idea of how you appear in the world. If that matches your values, good. If not, you have the creative power to set new intentions to embody your values and live them. And the affirmation for today is, today, I lean consciously into my values, and Spirit responds by demonstrating them through me. And I will pass over the mic to Reverend Peggy for spiritual mind treatment.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. It's my privilege to do our prayer this morning, our welcome invocation and spiritual mind treatment. So I invite you, as we turn within right now, to bring to mind something you would like to bring into your experience that's been eluding you. Something that's calling forth through you. Maybe it's solving a problem. Maybe it's a dream of your heart. Let us know you've come to the right place to put this into practice. And I have an idea that Sherri Cunningham, one of our wonderful ministerial students, soon to be Reverend Sherri Cunningham, might just give you some clues as to how to make that happen. So let's turn within. Recognizing the allness of the divine, that which creates and sustains the universe, the multiverses, that we find ourselves living and moving and having our being in that divine life. That those qualities of the divine, of wholeness, of peace, of joy, of power, of harmony, of divine activity, of abundant good, are ours already because of who we are as God in expression. I give thanks knowing that whatever we might have on our mind this morning as we come together, or wherever we might be on the web today, that as we lift our awareness up to that knowingness of our unity with the allness that creates everything, the answer to our prayer already exists in divine mind. And as we claim that for ourselves, ideas come to us. Openings become ours. And as we give thanks for this, and I give thanks this morning for everyone here, either online or present in this room, I give thanks for Sherri Cunningham, religious science practitioner and ministerial student for Centers for Spiritual Living, that our lives are blessed, that each one of us brings our own consciousness into the room to lift and bless one another, and those who may even be watching this as it's recorded a time from now in the future. This same claim is what I'm making in this moment, knowing that the highest and the best is already unfolding, that as we open to that and give thanks for it, we set that wondrous law of mind in motion and bring it into manifestation by our cooperation, by our co-creation with that one source that creates everything. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
ay, 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 hey, ay, 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 ay. Oh, we got a hearing glow. We got invisible glory in the highest glory. Glory got below. Glory got up hearing. Glory got invisible glory in the highest. Glory, glory got below. Ay, 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 ay. Whoa. Ay, 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 ay. See me if you can. You can, everywhere I am. Thank you so much. Joyful expressions, combining sound and movement and vibration, and bringing Mother Gaia into the room. Karen, thank you. That just really does stuff to you, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. See me if you can, everywhere I am. And a representation of the awesome power and presence of the oneness will be showing up right now.
That was awesome.
As she is stepping into this call that says, I will be that, which is always, with everything that I do, with every word that I say, this is something that you take very seriously when you decide to become a minister. And I'm just so absolutely honored that you decided to come and share who you are. Everybody, the soon-to-be Reverend, Sherri Cunningham.
Whoa. Wow, thank you. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful, beautiful morning and a way to start a day surrounded by so many people. I live in St. Augustine, Florida. I am finishing up my Florida courses, getting ready to take Florida capstones, and then moving into the larger classes. So this is quite an exciting and intimidating moment because Reverend Peggy was my minister, speaker, instructor. So to have her in the front row is very special to me. And Reverend Cindy to ask me to come and fill these gigantic shoes for her temporarily while she is taking a much needed and deserved sabbatical. So that trust of a pulpit from another minister is absolutely humongous. So I don't take it lightly, and I'm so grateful to be here. Awesome. All right, so let's get rolling here. As you have gone through, for those of you who have been here for the last 5 months, you've been talking about the Science of Mind Foundation classes. And what Reverend Cindy has done, which is so amazing, is she's taken a class that is normally 10 weeks and stretched it out into 10 months. So you get a whole month to talk about and to ruminate and kind of just soak it all in about what the topic is for the week. So that, nobody's ever done that. I've never seen another minister or church do that. So I'm super excited to be a part of it. So as above, so below, as within, so without. So my talk today is on the law of correspondence and attraction. But before we get to that point, I'd like to review the first 4 months for those who have just come for the first time. What happened? All right, so month 1, you got to talk. You came to, normally when you come to the class, you'd come with all of these ideas of what God is or isn't to you. And a lot of us come to this teaching and into these centers because we have something hot about the word God and about the religion that our parents gave us as we were children. I know in my experience, I came from a very Irish Catholic, screamingly wild alcoholic family where everyone was lined up in the front row in their plaid skirts in that Sunday service, and if we behaved, we got donuts after service, so that was really cool. But by 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, either mom and dad were drunk or fighting, or there was something going on. So there was always this conflict of like, who is this God that you're telling me I have to believe in, and who is this thing that is far, far away, normally old and white, and casting down disparaging whatevers, and doesn't accept me for who I am, but then puts me in these situations that cause all this pain and turmoil. So then at the time of teenager, early 20s, we get to say, I don't want anything to do with God. God is like a bad word. So first thing into this class, you show up and they're like, let's talk about your concept of God. Like, oh, okay, I can't get away from it. So what you kind of did is you came up with different words for God. In recovery, I am going on 8 years sober in January, so thank you very much. Yes, thank you. But we got asked to, like, what is another word for God? You don't have to use the word God. You know, spirit, light, beingness, love, you know, call them out. Let me hear some. Universe, yes. So there's Yahweh. There's so many different names you can call it. You know, goddess, there you go. It took me, for my experience, it took me a long time not to have a physical reaction when either the word God was said to me or I said it myself. So know that that is a thing, and it's okay. It's okay to have that thing. All right. So then the next month, you talked about the creative process. So, what is the creative process? So what you did is you came to discuss your concept of God, and then you studied the teaching symbol. So you see this V in the circle all the time, right? So if you've been around, you're like, oh, I wonder what that means. Or if this is your first trip to a center, I want to spend a few minutes talking about this. So our teaching symbol has 3 pieces to it. You have the top piece above the V, you have the V going down, and then you have the piece below it. It is only in a circle to have a physical representation of a solid thing. But know that that circle is infinite. It goes on forever and ever. It has no edges. It has no end. It has no thing, right? So know that kind of going in. The top part is where spirit is, where reality is, where God lives, where universe lives, all those things. It's just this infinite wholeness, a bigness. And then you've got the V going down, which is the law of where things, our experiences passes through, right? Everything has to pass through. And the neat part at the end is the effect. And what the effect is how it comes into my experience and your experience. So if we think of it as a vase. You know, Ernest Holmes likes to think it's like we're open at the top. We're this giant vase where all that is comes in through me, as me, to me, and I get to experience it how I want to experience it, and how my thoughts and my feelings and my past experiences mostly will tell me how I can experience it. So, again, we've making the decision to take a foundations class to come into the Center for Spiritual Living to learn more about it. So this is like that creative process. And if you ever take a Science of Mind class, if you ever decide to become a practitioner, I'm going to give you a test question answer. Put it in your file, seed, soil, plant, right? So we've got the seed, which is the idea. The soil is all the energy and the thoughts we have around it, and the plant is the idea that comes up the other side. So there will be a question that says, what is the creative process? And the answer is seed, soil, plant. Don't forget it. Don't forget. Okay. All right. And one more thing about the creative process is that you want to use I statements. You know, when we tend to come into prayer and religion and spirituality with like wishes. You know, I wish I had a different experience. I think I'm gonna get this job. I hope that this next relationship works out. Centers for Spiritual Living and this creative process and the things that we learn to teach us how to ground. I am. It is. You are. I mean, and what's funny is when we take early on in the classes, there's people like Reverend Peggy that were in the circle taking these classes, and you're like, well, I hope, I wish. And she's like, no. You are. I am. It is. I mean, and that's the power that it kind of sets down into this foundation class, right? So then the next month, you came and you did a visioning on grace. Now, I was told yesterday when I was talking to Cindy that these weren't not normally done in that specific order, but you did touch on all these things. So don't think you missed out or something was confusing because in month 3, it was something different. You did a visioning on grace. Grace. That wonderful thing that if you have a Science of Mind textbook, this is something that I really enjoy looking at, and especially the glossary. When there's words in there that are, especially when they're capitalized within the text, I like to go into the glossary and look up the definitions. So inside the Science of Mind glossary, it talks about grace is the givingness of spirit to its creation, and it is not a special law, but a specialized one. In other words, grace is, but we need to recognize it. It is. We don't learn it, we don't acquire it, we just have to realize that it's there, and it's ours to use. Grace never goes anywhere. It is not something that God imposes upon us, but is the logical result of the correct acceptance of life and the correct relationship to the Spirit. It just is something that is. So that grace, in the visioning, we had to think about what our perfect idea is. And if you notice, it's the 5-step of Michael Beckwith's visioning process. You know, what must I become to embody this perfect idea of grace? What must I let go? You know, we hang on to these ideas of our, like I said, the religion of our parents, the experience growing up as children. You know, but what do I have to release to then accept, to allow that grace to flow in? And then once I have it, what must I embrace? I must embrace forgiveness. I must embrace love. I must embrace oneness and diversity and all of those things that get rid of all the things that no longer serve me, right? So then I stop. In the middle of all that, I've had like this beautiful awakening. I've gone into my small group and talked to other people that are like-minded, and we share these ideas. And then I think, what have I missed? Have I missed anything? Have I turned over every single rock to accept my grace, to realize that it's mine to have? You know, I don't have to behave a certain way. I don't have to achieve a test score. I don't have to get the perfect job or the perfect relationship. It's just mine, and it's yours. All right. So then I understand Reverend Peggy was here for wholeness and did the affirmative prayer work. right? Where you kind of did the steps of, get to my notes. You learned the steps of a spiritual mind treatment. So you have already done the affirmation statements, right? The I am, I see, I do, I feel, I love, right? So then your 5 steps to affirmative prayer, and you heard it in the prayer that Reverend Peggy did. You know, our prayer work is very intentional, right? We don't say, oh, I wish for that red car, that we'll talk about in a minute when we get to week 5 or month 5. And the 5 steps to affirmative prayer is God is, right? God is all, God is it, God is all there is. And then the next step is I am. I am one with it. It moves through me and in me and as me. Wait. And this is where it gets hung up with a lot of my more traditional friends. When I have a friend who's a sponsor, we laugh all the time. She says, Bonnie, are you God? Yeah, are you God now? And I looked at her a few weeks ago and I said, yeah, yes, you are. And so, you know, some people get really hung up on that, of that ego that goes with saying that I am God, but what comes with that grace that we just talked about, and those affirmative words that we choose to use, that we realize that God and I are one. God and I are one in this space, in this energy. And that whole thing about judgment and being far, far away and have to beg forgiveness and hang on a cross, whether it's literal or figuratively, you know, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to behave in a certain way for someone to love me or to have some spirit tell me that I'm okay, because that oneness and knowing that God is within me allows me to feel that in my core. God is, I am. If you don't say another prayer for the rest of your life, that's the one I want you to always remember. God is, I am. And then you can move into that space where is that idea that you want to affirm, that thing you want to say. You know, I am affirming that my space here today is peaceful and productive and inspiring because I know that God is and I am. And then we say thank you. We always end in gratitude, right? We always say thank you for that energy. Thank you for those words. Thank you for that wisdom. I like to say, as these words of affirmation come in from the infinite universe to inspire and to speak and to ground me in this moment. Not once did you hear me through any of this beg for anything. There was never a bended knee looking down in prayer, like, please, 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 please. Never will you hear that in a Science of Mind church, in a center. I still trip over church once in a while. And then we release it out into the universe knowing that it is done. And then you can snap, you can drop the mic and walk away. Because if we've done it correctly, it's done. It's done. We don't even have to talk about it again. And if we have, and the books tells us too, if we have to pray for it, if someone comes to us for prayer a second time, then it's just something else we need to affirm in that. It's not that that other thing isn't going to happen or that other thing isn't healed or experienced. There's some more work to be done. There's different things to be uncovered within that conversation. But you will never hear us talk about begging for forgiveness, begging for money, begging for anything. No begging here, right, Peggy? There is no begging here. All right. So, as we get to week 5 is the power of attraction. But what we do know about the power of attraction, how many here saw The Secret? Raise your hand. Saw The Secret. All right, so what The Secret did, in my humble opinion, was ruin the ability or to change the way that we need to think about how we bring things into our lives. To always think, I want that red car. You know, they told me in that movie I could manifest a red car if I thought about it hard enough, right? I could have that perfect relationship. I could have that perfect job. What they failed to tell us in that conversation or in that movie is the law of correspondence. That is a very small piece of the entire conversation that is like all of the conversation. that when we have this law of correspondence, we have to have the ability to demonstrate, depending on our ability, to provide a mental equivalent. There's one of those big, what I love to call $50 words in Science of Mind. Like, never been here, what is a mental equivalent? So if I go to page 610 in my glossary, which I said I love, mental equivalent, having a subjective idea of the desired experience. As we bring ourselves to a greater vision than the range of our present concepts, we can then induce a greater concept, thereby demonstrating more in our experience. As we bring ourselves to a greater vision than the range of our present concepts. So what we want to do in the law of correspondence, is think of things that are bigger than the thing itself. So if I want that red car, I have to think of those feelings of what that red car brings. Is it joy? Is it speed? Is it power? What is it in that thing that you want? Right? It is not that thing. It is the feeling that that thing brings. Right? All right. So I can remember the day that I finally figured out, and I'm being vulnerable here with you right now. Right? So as above, so below, as within, so without. Meaning out being my experience based on what I'm feeling and holding inside. Not without meaning without I don't have it, but without being outside of my experience. Right? So if I am experiencing joy and love and forgiveness and peace in all of my experiences to the best of my ability, what I experience out here is going to be that as well. Huh. You mean to tell me that I can't be mean and hateful and disrespectful and continue to be mean to people and not feel peace myself? You know, that for me, I know exactly where I am in my spiritual awakening, in my life, when my immediate relationships that are one arm out, it doesn't have to be yes, the person at the grocery store will definitely reflect back to you what's going on in your life. But on a daily basis, and a very intimate basis, how are my relationships right here? You know, 3 of my most precious relationships are here with me today. And I would like to think that on most days, they're pretty awesome. Because we all are feeling that peace. We all are feeling that joy. We are all feeling that forgiveness. Oh my gosh. And the work that came with getting sober and working the 12 steps, but you don't have to be an alcoholic or a drug addict to work the steps and to be present in this moment of awareness of this correspondence. So correspondence, so it's funny, I'm going to rat you out, Robert. So correspondence is not like writing. We're not writing a letter to the correspondent. We are having that corresponding feeling to that experience, right? So that's what I'm asking you to think about in the days and weeks to come as you move through this experience of this foundation class, because it is just, to go back to the beginning, we've been in classes for so long, and we just kind of move from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. Gosh, it was probably 12 years ago when I took foundations classes, so you forget these basic things that you're getting to experience through these monthly sessions. And then next week will be the small groups, where you'll take this law of correspondence, you'll take this thought, and you'll come into here and discuss them on a more intimate level of, what do you want out of your experience in life? What are you seeing in your experience? So that's kind of your homework for the week, is to be very conscious and very aware of going to the grocery store, going to the gym, going to work, going to DMV, whatever you have to do this week, be aware, be conscious of the experience that you're having. So if you are, just smile at whoever's in the grocery store. Smile at who's in front of you at the DMV. You want to freak people out? Go to the DMV and tell them you're glad they came to work today. Holy cow, it stops people. I do it every chance I can. That's my trick for you this week. It freaks people out. They're like, what do you mean? Why, what? I'm like, yes, I'm grateful that you came to work today. Thank you for coming to work today. And they're like, oh, thank you. And you're just like, it's that, the pond of the calmness. Now, see, if the other visual, if you see, imagine that pond. So if you want to close your eyes for a second, or play with me. So you're seeing that pond of water that is your best self in the morning. As you're had your coffee, you're getting dressed, you've done your meditation, and your pond is like super calm, right? So then you're driving and you get cut off at the stoplight, or you have to divert to someplace else, and boop, you've got that little pebble that has rippled out into that pond. Now what I'm asking you to do is to see and to feel those ripples as you walk through your experiences next week, and really register what you experience. Do you experience anger? Are you frustrated? Are you sad? Are you whatever? Or are you like, this is a different experience. I am aware. I don't feel that rising in my chest. I don't feel that racing of my heartbeat. Those things that we can experience when we get our edges pushed. So when we move through this class, we move through this teaching, awareness is one of the big things we take away. How am I speaking? How am I acting? How am I writing? How am I driving? How are we talking to people? Are we looking people in the eye? When we shake people's hands, are we putting both hands on their hand and like, I am so glad to see you? And here's the crazy part, do it to somebody that you may not necessarily like or be getting along with right now. These are the small, tiny things that are going to change the world. We came here, we're sitting in these chairs because we want to be change makers, right? We want to be change makers. So those are the little teeny tiny things that we can do to facilitate those changes. Fun stuff, fun stuff. All right. So in real time, so if we go again to our glossary, and we talk about the law of correspondence in my book. Where did it go? Let's see, we talked about the 583 in a demonstration. Through the mental and spiritual activity of thought, we get to demonstrate directed towards a definite end. We bring about greater good, a more abundant life, a better condition than exists before. This is called a demonstration. So the point of the prayer, if you remember, is to demonstrate those things that we want out of our lives and those experiences. So we think of different ways of each day things get a little brighter. When we decide that we want a different experience, when we correspond, when we have the corresponding change in outlook, we have the corresponding change in energy, and we get to just be a little happier, a little harmonious. Does it feel like it's super far, far away and unattainable and unrealistic? Sometimes. Sometimes when I wake up and I don't feel good, or the baby's been up all night. My granddaughter lives with us, which is the most amazing thing ever. But sometimes she has a bad night and nobody sleeps. Can I embody that little happier, a little brighter in those moments? Sure. Takes a little more work. Little babies. Takes a little more work. Yeah. She looked a little tired this morning, but we all get that way sometimes, right? We really do. So we get to embody those those things. I love technology. All right, so we talk about hope. And do any of you have the Holy Moments book? If you don't have it, I highly recommend getting it and kind of, you can get free ones if you go to their website. He'll send you 6 for free. And his idea is to hand them out to 3 people and have that ripple effect go out as we kind of move through these things. And he summarizes life in relationship with a higher power. You know, in recovery, we use the word higher power. If you're not in recovery, choose whatever word you want. And we know from everything that we've learned that you were made in the image and likeness of God. Spirit, universe, goddess, love, whatever you want to call it, but you were made in the image and likeness of it because Science of Mind teaches us and Ernest Holmes teaches us that energy cannot be destroyed. We are one with it. We are in it and as it and through it and embody it. Act accordingly. You know, people that realize that they are made in the image and likeness of God, yes, have taken it to the extreme in some measures and feel that they can beat people up with it. But those who choose the more peaceful and hopeful version of that, we act accordingly. So what I'm going to read for you is from 2 conversations. It's on page 95, Matthew Kelly. I had 2 conversations recently that have been intertwined in my mind ever since. Someone made a passing comment, Christianity is just too complicated. And the same day, someone asked me, if you had to summarize how to live as a Christian in 10 words or less, how would you do it? I've been thinking about that question ever since. The Christian life is quite simple in a sense. If you had to summarize it in 10 words, I would say, you are made in the image of God, act accordingly. Made in the image of God, you have an astounding capacity for goodness. The reservoir of goodness within you is vast. Will you hoard it or will you share it? When you share the goodness with others, the reservoir within you is supernaturally replenished. What do you mean? I get back what I give, and if I give all of my love and all of my peace and all of my joy, it's supernaturally replenished. That word is amazing to me. And I know it resonates with a whole bunch of people in this room. It is a never-ending source. Now is your time to be bold with your goodness, time to start creating holy moments. You are made in the image of God, act accordingly. Thank you very much. Be bold with your goodness. Thank you.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres la cara del amor. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face. Tu sei la luce di Dio. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face. Tu es l'image de Dieu. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face. Tu sais la luz de Dieu. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face.
Thank you so much, Sherri Cunningham. Thank you so much, Karen Drucker, and Joyful Expressions. We'll be reminding you of this very thing with the next song. Special thank you to Karen Drucker, Faith Rivera, all these amazing artists. New Thought music just changed the world for me.
God is where I stand. God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, down. God is the faith in me, and where I cry, God is the comfort there, and where I see, God is the answer, here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is, and where I work, love is my career, and where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me, as me. Oh, yeah. Do-do-do. Yeah. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and live. God is, God is, God is, God is.
Thank you, Joyful Expressions. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to hear that song on repeat. You know, especially when you're trying to learn the background and the nuances of a song. And while you're doing that, you're thinking, this is Spirit speaking through this artist. And all the things that it takes to bring that to production so that we may listen on Spotify or wherever. How amazing is it that people are out there having these words so that when I'm in the middle of my experience, whatever that experience is, you can hear something like, where I stand, God is. Where I play, where I work, where I move, God is, God is, God is. And how awesome is it that we can then make our decisions from that space of oneness. Thank you so much, Sherri. What a great reminder. And for the recap, that was very, very helpful. Thank you so much. And so now I invite you to step into that law of correspondence, that give and take of the universe, reciprocal nature of the universe, by sharing our tithes, our offerings, and even our prayers, so that someone else may hold that highest and best for you. Because sometimes you just can't hold it yourself. You can't see the forest for the trees. You're in it. So it's helpful to have a minister, practitioner, somebody else to say, hey, let's take an elevated view. This is what I see from up here. And we elevate you to meet us. That vibratory field that lifts you. That's what treatment is. It pulls you from there to here with that divine remembrance of who you are and what is possible. So we do our affirmation together. I invite you to speak it with me, knowing that you are giving to the universe. Every time good leaves you, like the carbon dioxide from your body, you will take that next breath. So we will be in receiving as we do this. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. It is my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed, and I am a blessing. I am grateful. And so it is, and so it is. And I invite you to know that there are multiple ways that people have been giving to our community, so thank you so much for that. For those of you who do that text on your phone, that text to tithe, yes, isn't that wonderfully convenient? Awesome. For those who give once a month and they give auto. When I was working as a nurse up in New York, it allowed me to do that, to do my auto tithe, because I wasn't present here, and it was just so great to just know it was going out and feeding my community and keeping the lights on and making sure the lawn gets cut and all of these things, so that when I am in my moment of low energy vibration, I step in that door and I go, I'm home. Because of y'all's giving I can do that. If you have a prayer request, Erin has those little slips of paper. I invite you to fill that out. It doesn't matter what it is. Erin, right behind you there. It doesn't matter what it is. You could put on there peace on earth, because that is what's bopping around in your mind. If there's something bopping around in there, write it down. The burden is that much easier to carry when multiple people have their hands on it. All you need is a paradigm shift, and this helps. Throw all of your tools at it, because something's going to stick, right? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. And for those of you on Facebook, thank you so much for all that you have been doing, sharing, liking, sending our stuff out there, because our lives meet and reach multiple places in real time and outside of here. We also have Facebook stars. So if you are online, you can go ahead and give us stars, y'all. Give us stars, because apparently that's how we show some love, right? That's how we do it. I appreciate that Facebook has that. So thank you for the stars that you send, the stars that you will send, and all of that, so that we may be here doing this work and existing. And if you share us, then the algorithm will join in, and the message will reach more people. And the food that this spiritual community provides can nourish that many more. How amazing is that we had that because of all your givingness. Thank you so much. Reverend Peggy, can you please bless the offering?
As we turn within one more time, let us feel ourselves in this divine circulation of good. And as we lift this blessing up to that which this center receives, we know it's not all in the basket this morning. Some came directly from bank account to bank account. Some came through PayPal. Some came through text to give. But we bless it all this morning and know that the giving contains within it also this wonderful circulation of divine good, which returns to the giver tenfold and more. I give thanks for this center and for the givingness of each one that helped to keep the lights on, to create the space of love, to know that in this moment, there's great good that's coming and going because of the gifts and the love of each one. I give also thanks for our tithes and offerings, knowing the answer to each prayer already exists in divine mind. That as the ministers and practitioners pray this week over those requests, they know that truth. They know that as we accept that great good, that good flows in, and we do our part in our knowing that that is so, and blessing both the prayer and those that are blessed by the prayer. I give thanks that all of this is so, and know that our lives are rich and growing richer because of this teaching. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Reverend Peggy. All right. So here's what's coming up here. Circle Sunday this August, we're going to be discussing attraction and reciprocal nature. And what's happening in September, just FYI, if you are a Circle Sunday person, and you definitely make Circle Sunday, if you can start planning from now, because September we're going to be flipping our Circle Sunday to the second Sunday. So just a little bit of heads up for September. We're also going to be hosting another parenting class here. We have been so blessed to have this wonderful representative in the community who does this. This is what she does. A parent facilitator with Kids Central Incorporated. They help with harm reduction in families so that we may understand our littles, have more tools to be able to help them. This is actually coming up next weekend, August 18th. Actually, it's the third Sunday, I believe. Third Sunday, August 18th. Oh, it would be next Sunday. Yes, next Sunday. Thank you so much. Next Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m., we're going to be having that parenting class here in the sanctuary, so please come on out. If you know parents who have littles, please let them know that this free class is available. Yes, this is next Sunday. Yes, the 18th. Yes. Psychedelics, Dreams, and Rituals is coming up on that fourth Sunday with Galen Grigas. Galen, would you like to say anything about fourth Sunday, what's coming up?
Thank you so much. I welcome everybody to come and learn a little bit more about metaphysics. And if you've always been curious about that, but really wanted to define that a little bit better and understand what metaphysics and how metaphysics and mysticism and psychedelics and our spiritual journey all fit together, fourth Sunday. We'll talk about all of that, and we'll experience it as much as we possibly can together. So I invite you to come and join. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Talk about growth and practice. She does this every fourth Sunday, spiritual growth and practice, man. It gets you in there. And to know that we have a licensed mental health counselor actually leading this, someone who has a trending book on Amazon, you go, girl. I love that. And then after that, we're going to be having the Free Psychedelic Integration Circle. It is a safe space for people to share and talk about their experiences of non-ordinary states of consciousness. You may have had that experience in a not-so-wonderful environment. You may have had it in a wonderful environment. We invite you to come and share and speak and integrate that experience. The first Sunday is spiritual practice. So that's spiritual growth and practice, right? We're going to be working with our very own Dr. Reverend Peggy, and she's going to be talking on prosperity. There's a prosperity workshop, unexpected good. And so I'm telling you guys, this is the kind of thing that changed me. When I started coming here, I decided I wanted to live a different life, and I needed to take steps in that direction. And these classes did it for me. And she has taken like multiple modalities and squished it down into this food. I don't know how you did it, but I'm excited to see how it happens. So definitely come for that. Spirit Monthly newsletter. How many people get the newsletter already? This is how you keep track of what's happening here at CSL Ocala. If you do not get the newsletter yet, please sign up for the newsletter over there so that way you can kind of keep abreast of what's going on. Without it, it's hard to tell because we have just so many different things that we do here. The Science of Mind magazine is now available in the bookstore. If you don't already have a subscription to this, definitely grab that magazine. Every single day has a new reading, a new article, and it changes you when you keep this as the forefront of your mind. Weekly volunteer cleaners are needed. We need people to come in and help us with the building, with the grounds, with all of these things, but especially those who love that environment. I'm a nurse. I love an environment that feels clean, and I know that everybody's going to leave here happy and healthy. And so for me, it's important and vital. I would love, if that's important to you too, please come and lend your energy here to help us get the space ready for the week, as well as get it ready for us. These volunteer opportunities are with Cole Diaz right back there. He is the representative, the volunteer coordinator for 2024, and he is here. If you're one that uses your phone, go ahead and scan that QR code. I'm telling you, you want to be a part of our, our givingness here. Our sacred teams are always working in the background. You kind of see them fluttering around back there like butterflies, but things just happen so that the food that comes to you is incredible and uplifts you. All right, and at this time, I invite us to bless our young ones. See, the young one inside of me is dancing. This is what happens when music comes on. I can't help it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. We'll see how shy they are. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine, shine. Everybody, shine, shine. You know you want to shine, shine. All around the world, shine, shine. There used to be a time when children were seen and not heard, or heard but not seen. And in this community, our youngest members are honored because they're a part of us. So you hear them doing their thing in the background, and then they come up here and beam it at you so that you may see that we all started with this perfection. How amazing. Look at those eyes. She looks right through you, y'all. Right. I mean, she is like divine expression looking at you. So at this time, I invite you to rub your hands together. Get very intentional here. Intentional. Come on, Autumn. We're going to beam it back at them. You ready? We got it. Ready? Right at them. We honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do. And look in their faces and be reminded that that is also you. So turn that one in with intention. Close your eyes if you have to. See that little tiny person inside there that started out like this little baby right here. And you say, I honor you. I see your light. May it shine on all that you do. And so it is, and so it is. Thank you for that reminder, and thank you for joining our babies. And at this time, the prayer for protection from our friends at Unity. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful, blessed, amazing, overflowing. Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. Y'all are so good. They help me. They do. The crew back here. So we are going to be blessing our food. And thank you to those who use this as a love language to feed the rest of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this snappers here is the fun part of this. All right. How many people know the Addams family? Y'all ready? Da-da-da-dum. 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 We thank you, God, for giving the things we need for living. The food, the fun, the friendship, the CSL family. Da-da-da-da. Nee. Da-da-da-da. 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 Let's eat. Thank you for stepping into that. Thank you, Girl Scouts, for that. And if you could please remove your items from the ground so that the crew can turn the room around, I invite you to take yourself into that bookstore. Check out the Science of Mind magazine, buy some other books. If you don't already have the Science of Mind textbook, I